We're continuing with a new episode of the SK System Strategy course. This episode is extremely important, not only for the SK System Strategy, but for the trading industry in general. I will address an important aspect, which is risk management and the strategy for entering trades based on the Sky Systems zones. We will cover everything related to take profit, stop loss, risk to reward, and even risk management. For your information, there is a playlist. They're all specific to the SK System course. You can access them from the channel or at the bottom of this section to start the course from the beginning. Of course, we touched on the SK System sequences, what the SK System is, and we explained many things in some points that I did not want to touch on in the SK System strategy. An example of this is the Matryoshka system. Matryoshka is simply a term chosen by the strategist to describe the SK system which exists in various time frames. I don't want to get into those minor details because the important and fundamental aspects of the strategy are important. Now let's get straight to the point. First, regarding risk management or how to set a stop loss, I need to mention one important thing, and I've tried to summarize all the important things for you in this pyramid. As you can see, the first thing you need to do is calculate the percentage of money you will risk from your capital. To do that, I have provided you with this website. This website will help you depending on the market you want to enter. You can calculate the amount of money you will lose in your trade. For this example, I've set my account size to just $100. I want to risk only 1% of my capital. That means I only set 10 points for my stop loss. I'll explain how many points to set for a stop loss in different markets. Here I set the 0.01 lot size. Okay, when I clicked calculate here, it told me that if the market hits my stop loss, I would only lose $1 from my account. It's not a big deal. Okay, why not? I put this point first because we'll now discuss entry strategies for SK trades. There are actually 3 strategies. Okay, I want you to focus on this note. It is better for small accounts from $100 to $500, that your risk percentage be 1% to 10% at most of your capital. Okay, now let's get to the most important topic, which is how to enter the trade. Okay, I have my first entry strategy, which is a one trade strategy. How? The single trade strategy is the easiest strategy. So as we said here, I have my SK sequence 0ABC. Then we said that it is the BC area. So I will place my entry here. The stop loss will be just below this area and my take profit will be at the C point range. This is just an example. Now, let's move on to the second strategy, the moving trades strategy. This is very important and in my opinion, the best. Why? In short, the principle of this strategy is simple. I enter only 2 trades and no more for the following. For this strategy, the first trade is at this point. That is, at the beginning of the touch of the BC zone, the first trade always has a stop loss at the 66-70% point. As you can see, here's the 66.70% point. That's the stop loss for the first trade. The second trade is right here at the bottom of the area like this, and my stop loss is determined by an important rule. I'm going to show you this rule, and my take profit is always around point C. Okay, what is the principle that I'm going to rely on to determine this stop loss? It's this rule that I gave you at the bottom of the pyramid, that if this is a forex pair, for example, this is EUR USD, my stop loss is 15 to 30 pips, and the profit is almost double, between 30 and 60 pips. For gold and futures, we always set a stop loss of 30 to 40 pips and a take profit of 30 to 100 pips. If I'm trading on EUR USD, I'll reduce my stop loss to about 15 pips, like this. That's a small stop loss. I think this second strategy is clear. Now, for the third strategy, the multi-trade strategy, I simply enter 4 trades, distributing them as follows based on the point at which I will enter. In this example, I have the BC point and I'll distribute the 4 trades like this. They'll be distributed like this. My first trade will be at the edge of the zone, like this. I always take profit around point C. Then I place my stop loss here at the 55-90% point of the area. Then the second trade, if it touches my stop loss, I enter the second trade. The second trade, it will be around this level, which is the 55 or 90% level. The stop loss will be at 61.80% like this. The third deal will be at the lower level. Always take profit, doesn't change, but stop loss will change like this. It will be at the 66-70% point, which is the end of the golden zone. Okay, so the last trade will be at the end of the golden zone, like this. So the trade will be activated here. Then here, my stop loss. In this case, I'm in the EUR USD. I'm not going to take too much risk. I'll just choose 15 pips like this. Thus, we have 4 trades. These 4, I do not enter all of them. Rather, I enter the next trade if the stop loss of the previous trade is hit. If the market touches the stop loss here, enter this trade. If the stop loss is touched, enter this trade. Therefore, I will have risked 4% of my capital on all 4 of these trades. Thus, if the market hits all my stop losses, I will have lost 3% of my account. This will be better for managing your capital, while as for entry strategies into an SK trade, you can use them regardless of your capital starting from $100 and above. But you must respect the conditions. The most important condition I want you to respect is if you lose 4 consecutive trades or if you lose 4% of your capital. So never enter the market on that day and wait until the next day. Okay, now, are these rules part of the SK strategy? Yes, they are indeed part of the SK strategy. However, I've made some adjustments based on my experience and personal perspective. You can try it out first on demo accounts. Then, once you've mastered the strategy, you can switch to your real account or funded accounts to test it and place this trade. I hope I've been able to explain this point well. If I forgot anything, please let me know in the comments. Stay safe.